Hello, Health, Wealth, Life, day 3 of 365. It's the third day of January 2017. How's your day? How are you doing? How's it going for you? How are you doing creating your life and the rest of the year? Have you stuck to your goals so far? Have you dropped off? Hey, if it falls off, I heard something really interesting. It's not the lesson today, but I heard something interesting that was, Pete, how are you, mate? Always good to see you. I heard something interesting that failure is not in the falling down, it's actually in the not standing up. So you can't fail if you keep standing up. You just keep going, you can't be beaten. Just keep going, keep going, keep going until you win. And that is the way to succeed, that is the way to win. But anyway, that's not the lesson that I learned today. The lesson I'm learning today is about faith, actually. And it's a little sentence that goes like this: faith it till you make it. And sometimes all we have is a little bit of faith that it's going to work out, that things will be okay. There's a couple of family issues going on for me right now that are worrying, but I have faith that they're going to work out. They have to. It's going to be okay in the end. But sometimes that's all we have. That's all we have. And I remember a time in the past, you may have heard this story from my book launch, but when my mum was really unwell, she's had cancer 3 times. And that was just a traumatic few years. And all I had was faith that she was going to make it. And I set my mind on that she's going to make it. And I couldn't allow myself to dip into the possibilities of the negatives, even though your mind wanders there. And if you don't fix it quick, where you say, it's going to work out, it's going to be right, we're going to do everything possible and it's going to be okay, then it could go anywhere and you're just going to be in a worse state and it feels worse. So faith it till you make it. Same with Sarah. How are you? Or is that Sarah? It's probably unlikely that the hubby's got the phone. Anyway, he's in your picture. I can see him. I hope the babies are well. So we're talking about faith it till you make it. That's the lesson I'm learning today and I'm sharing with you. And sometimes that's all we've got. I've shared about my mum and her illness and cancer 3 times and how she came through that. And thankfully she's well as ever now. So that's amazing. And Mayrose, good to see you. And let's go a little bit more superficial. So sometimes when you're going for a body transformation this time of the year, we'll always keep talking about its common body transformation. Want to lose a bit of fat after overeating at Christmas and just overdoing it in general. We go 3-4 days in, we actually feel worse. We actually feel bloated, we feel sluggish because the body's processing all of the junk that we took in, all the crap that we took in, you have to get a little bit worse before you get better. And some days you're going to feel a little bit bloated. That might happen a week or 2 weeks in. You think, I'm not even getting anywhere. I'm training so hard. I'm being strict on my diet. I'm resisting all this great stuff around me. Other people are going out drinking or eating pizza or whatever it is they're doing. And I'm just not getting the benefit here. But that's where you have to have faith that the process you're following is going to get you through. So faith it again till you make it and just stick the course. Stay the course. You can't fail if you keep getting up. There's a Japanese saying that goes that way. Fall down 8 times, stand up 9. There's an actual name for it. I can't think of it right now. If you know it, just pop it in the comment box. But it goes, fall down 8 times, stand up 9. You can't fail. Keep getting knocked down, you keep getting up. The failure is not in the falling down. The failure is in when you stay down, you just don't get up. And you have to be consistent. That's right, Mayrose. Be consistent. You have to be consistent in your consistency. And continued consistency actually creates emotional stability. That's on another level. Maybe we'll talk about that another day. So faith it till you make it. I keep saying the lesson that I'm learning today, that maybe you can pick up on that too. So maybe you're having a little dip in your energy already. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're really going well, perfectly. So, good on you. Keep that going. Keep that faith. Keep building that momentum. Keep that consistency. I remember when I used to take my nan, actually, and most of us don't picture the road ahead. We don't picture what we really want. So we hear some bad news and we can instantly go for the negative side of things. And our brain dips here, dips there, and some negative images flash in our mind, and we don't nip them in the bud quick and say, hold on, this is how I really want it to work out. It may not work out perfectly that way or exactly that way, but this is how I want it to work out. And this is something I practice all the time now. When something negative happens, I think, how am I picturing, am I actually projecting exactly how I want it to work out? And if I'm not, then potentially I'm not having any influence on it, or I'm having a negative influence on it if I'm thinking negatively. As an example, I took my nan, she's passed away now, bless her, still miss her, but she was on the negative side of thinking. I take her into, I remember I'm driving, we were getting into the supermarket, into Safeway, showing my age. Some of the youngsters, if they watching this, they'll think, what the hell is Safeway? Is he talking about contraception? No, I'm talking about Safeway that was bought by Morrison. So say Morrison, we're driving into Morrison's, and we haven't seen the car park. It looks busy. She goes, oh, there's no spaces. I'm like, man, why are you projecting exactly what you don't want? That's exactly the opposite of what you want. Firstly, you don't know that there's no spaces. Secondly, why focus on the negative? And I say, no, let's change that straight away. Swipe that one away, and we're thinking there's going to be a perfect space in the perfect timing for us. And most of the time there was. You know, you may have heard of cosmic requests, where you basically, you know you're going to park somewhere that's going to be busy, and book your space in advance. Say thank you for the parking space in the perfect spot. Thanks very much, and actually fill that. And most of the time I get a spot. Very rarely, when I remember to do that in advance, nearly always get a spot. Whether it's a coincidence or not, who knows? But let's project what we want into the future, faith it till we make it into the future. And sometimes it gets just perfectly right, and other times, most of the time, it works out. It works out all right. Steve, how are you? Good to see you as always. So today's lesson, my lesson today is I have to keep faith because of what's going on. There's a few results and tests that I'm waiting to hear back on, but I've got to keep the faith. That's all we got sometimes. Faith it till you make it. And then on a superficial level, your body won't look the way you want it to all the time. You've got to keep going. Keep belief and faith that you will get in the shape that you are working towards. It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing does. It all takes time, but you have to keep there, particularly on the bad days, stick until it all goes your way. And eventually it will. Eventually it will. If you know, let's look at it on the negative side. If you kept thinking stock market's going to crash, eventually you'd be right. And you'd be, yes, I'm right. But you're just stuck. So let's do the opposite. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. It's all going to work out. It's all going to work. And eventually you're going to be right. And hopefully, that if you believe in positive intention and energy and vibration and messages you send out in your thoughts, in your emotions, the way you're feeling, the language you use, does that have any influence on the outcome of your life? No one can say for sure yes or no, but we feel better for doing it that way. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Sue and Becky, nice of you to join. Have a read through what I've written, because I've done a quick overview of what I've talked about today already in the message box, and give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. What's the lesson that you've learned today? Is there something really obvious that you learned today, or something very subtle? Whatever it is, to me it's about keeping faith, having a faith, and then keep faithing it. Faith it till you make it. And that's it. That's the lesson today. So I'll sign off for the day. Have a look at the other videos from the last 2 days. I'll be doing one every day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Remember, health and happiness is a skill that you can learn, and this is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get health, wealth, and let's take the world with us. Have an amazing evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.